You ever have one of those nights you just know you'll never forget? That's what happened to me at Allerton Memorial. Picture this. I'm hustling through those sliding glass doors, my boy Marcus burning up in my arms, sweat on his forehead, his breath coming out in shallow little huffs. I'm in my old hoodie, jeans I've worn for years, hair pulled back in a messy knot. The place looks like a hotel for billionaires. Shiny marble, giant chandeliers, people in designer suits. And the first thing I get isn't a nurse or even a, "Can I help you?" It's a stare from the receptionist, Marlene, that makes me feel like I've dragged in something from the street. Before I can even open my mouth, she's already shaking her head, diamond earrings swinging, voice cold as ice. "We don't accept patients without platinum coverage. Maybe try the county clinic on 9th. And just like that, I'm invisible. I tell her, "Please, my son's got a fever. He needs help." But she's back to typing, not even looking at me. A nurse walks by, white sneakers squeaking, whispers something to her friend, something about people like that. Yeah, that happened. Marcus, clutching at my shirt, starts to whimper. That sound, it just about broke me. But I hold him tighter, try to keep my voice steady. He needs to see a doctor, now. Isn't that what you're here for? Cue the security guard, big guy, arms crossed, badge catching the light. He says, "If you don't have coverage, I'm going to have to ask you to leave." I want to scream, but I just say, "I'm not leaving. My son's not leaving." People in the waiting room start to notice, a few shaking their heads, some smirking. There's a man in an expensive suit, shiny shoes, flashing his credit card. "Maybe she wants us to pass the hat," he says, not bothering to whisper. Someone laughs, loud, like this is all a big joke. A woman in a fur coat, pearls practically glowing, sips her smoothie and mutters, "This isn't a shelter." My cheeks are burning. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just want to disappear, but you can't. You have to fight. And fight I did. I looked Marlene dead in the eye and asked, "If it were your kid, what would you do?" She just shrugs, says, "My kid would never be in this situation." Nurse Kelly, the head nurse, she shows up and makes it even worse. "We serve premium clients. You're holding up the line. Please step aside for someone who belongs here." Belongs here, like I'm garbage. But I don't cry. I don't scream. Something in me just gets cold and hard. I sit Marcus down, kiss his sweaty forehead, and stand up straight, pull my hood back. "Listen," I say, "my name is Simone Harris. I own Harris Health Group, the company that keeps this hospital's lights on." For a heartbeat, nobody breathes. Marlene freezes, fingers tight on her clipboard. Kelly blinks, mouth open. The security guard actually takes a step back. The room gets real quiet, real fast. I tell them I've been sending undercover patients for months. I've seen how they treat people who don't look like they belong. Tonight, it ends. I slap a folder down on the counter. Proof, names, everything. "Every single one of you on this shift is fired, effective immediately, for negligence, for breaking your oaths, for forgetting what it means to be human." I'm not shouting, I'm just done. That's all. Marlene looks like she might faint. Kelly's face crumples. She starts to apologize, saying she was just following orders. The security guard quietly sets his badge down and says sorry, eyes on the floor. The guy in the fancy suit suddenly can't meet my eyes. I tell them all, "You'll apologize to my son. Now. Or my lawyers will make sure you never work in healthcare again." One by one, they do. It isn't pretty. But I make them say it, out loud, to Marcus. Within the hour, the hospital's cleared out. I bring in real staff, people who know what it's like to struggle, who care. Allerton Memorial gets a new sign, Harris Community Clinic. Anybody, no matter what they look like or what card they carry, gets help. News travels fast. Soon, reporters are everywhere. Sponsors drop out. Donors hide. The old guard can't handle it, but I don't care. A few weeks later, I'm at this little fundraiser, nothing fancy. Reporters keep asking if I regret it, if I went too far. But I look at Marcus, healthy, smiling, chasing a soccer ball in the yard, and all I can say is, no one should have to beg to keep their kid alive. No one. And I mean it. Back at the clinic, things are different. You walk in, and people actually smile at you. The old staff? Gone. Marlene can't find a job. Kelly lost her license. The guard's out of work. That fancy suit lost his contract with us. Some folks think I was too harsh. Maybe I was. Or maybe that's what it takes to break a system built on cruelty. That scandal set off a fire. Hospitals across the state had to change. Committees got involved. Reporters kept digging. Other parents started speaking up. I read stories that broke my heart. People who lost everything because they couldn't pay. Because someone decided they didn't belong. Maybe, for a second, I helped them feel less alone. That's what matters. The moment I remember most, though, standing outside that clinic, holding Marcus's hand, watching him breathe easy, that's when I knew I'd done the right thing. But hey, I get it. Some of you will say I was wrong, that I should have given people another chance, or that not everyone is bad. Maybe that's true. Maybe I just snapped. But sometimes you have to snap to make the world listen. So, what would you have done in my shoes? Is it ever right to go scorched earth, or should we always give people another chance? I want to hear your stories. Tell me if you've ever been turned away or had to stand up when everyone said you didn't belong. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you think this story matters, share it. Maybe you'll help the next underdog win.